Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pagey here, once again with another review for The Flash Season 2. This is Episode 9, or the mid-season finale, whatever you want to call it, and the episode is entitled Running to Stand Still. So there will be spoilers in this review. I will be going through the episode and just giving my highlights on it, and so if you're going to enjoy it, leave a like, it would be very much appreciated, especially seeing it is the mid-season finale. So the episode starts off with a pretty surprising scene. That's actually Harrison Wells of Earth 2, obviously, being chased by Zoom, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? Zoom eventually catches Wells, but Wells starts to plead for his daughter to live, and Zoom can kill him if his daughter will live. Then Zoom just tells Harry, Merry Christmas, as you do. Now this is one of the things that we sort of knew was going to be happening in this episode, and that's that Iris reveals to Barry that she actually has a brother, which Barry is, I think he's a bit, not annoyed, but he's just sort of, so will Joe not treat me the same now that he has a real son? We also see Jay and Caitlin working on this way to shut down the breaches to prevent Zoom from travelling back and forth as he pleases into Earth 1. But Jay also gets invited to the Christmas get-together that they're having by Caitlin as well. Meanwhile, at Iron Heights, we get basically the setup for most of this episode, with the Weather Wizard, actually breaks out Captain Cold and the Trickster. So going to Iron Heights to sort out what happened, Barry actually finds out about Patty's past with the Weather Wizard, and she isn't too pleased that he knows about it. Also, one thing, were there no real repercussions for what happened last week when she shot Harrison Wells with no reason to? Bit random. I thought they would have had some repercussions there, but whatever. Now the Rogues, I'm just going to call the Rogues when I'm talking about all three of them, they come up with a plan to actually take down the Flash, but Captain Cold seems to be on the edge of it, doesn't he? He's not really supportive of it. Now Cisco comes up with a plan to build the Weather Wand, but technically us as the viewers and Barry had already seen this happen, because this happened last season when Weather Wizard created that tidal wave that forced Barry to go back in time for that first initial time. So we'd already seen this, but everyone's like, well, what the hell? How does Barry know about this? So Iris actually reveals to Joe that he has a son named Wally West. Now Joe isn't too sure how to process this, so he seems like he's a bit upset but also confused at the same time. And this is the thing that I thought to happen in this episode. We see Captain Cold go to Barry and warn him of Weather Wizard and Trickster's plan to take him down. So I think this is a lead up for Legends of Tomorrow, obviously, that Captain Cold does have a conscience. I don't know if Heatwave will as well. I think Heatwave's just going to be Captain Cold's bitch, if you know what I mean. But Trickster sends out this public service announcement to Central City, and through this, Team Flash is actually able to find out where he's hiding out. Now when Flash actually gets to the hideout, he finds Patty Spivot is also there, because she was able to figure out where he was through the same way that Team Flash was able to. And this was through seeing a reflection in the Trickster's eyes. But the funny thing is that they're attacked by dreidels, of all things, in this toy shop that the Trickster was hiding in. They managed to escape, but then Patty reveals to the Flash about her desire to kill the Weather Wizard, and she basically revealed more to the Flash in about 30 seconds than she has to Barry basically the whole time that they've known each other. Meanwhile, the Trickster is the local Santa Claus, handing out gifts to children, and through this I was thinking, oh, he definitely has something planned here. We see Zoom again in this episode when he meets with Harrison Wells, giving him one more day to complete his task, or come up with a decision on what he wants to do, And at this time I was thinking, did they bring that up at all? And I wasn't sure, and I thought it went completely over my head, but then we find out that they hadn't mentioned it. Barry then takes the Weather Wand to go take down the Rogues, but Weather Wizard can now float/fly using his powers, so it confused a lot of people. Now this is the one thing we got to find out, that all the boxes the Trickster, Santa I guess you could say, had gave out had a bomb in them. So Weather Wizard gives the Flash a proposition, either let him be killed by the Weather Wizard in a public place, or let all these boxes explode and kill a lot of children and their families. Now Weather Wizard gets his Weather Wand and starts to fight the Flash, but Team Flash find a way to get rid of these bombs, throwing them through one of the breaches. It was very scientific, and it'll really hurt my brain if I try to go over it again. Flash takes down Trickster and Weather Wizard pretty easy once he finds out that the bombs have been taken care of, might I say. Patty then rocks up to the scene strangely and bolts Barry to the ground with one of the metahuman weapons and goes to kill the Weather Wizard, but the Flash manages to talk her out of it. Now one of the last scenes is Barry talking to Harrison Wells through the glass, so the actual Harrison Wells can't hear him, but he's talking as if he's speaking to the Eobard Thawne Harrison Wells, and he's goes through a monologue, basically forgiving him for the acts that he's done, because basically Harrison Wells the Eobard Thawne had told him that he would never be happy, but now Barry's in a situation where he is happy. Now at the Christmas party that we knew was going to be happening at the end of this episode, Wally West decides to rock up a bit unexpectedly and he looks like he'll be a sick Wally West as well. Like, I've done a video on how I think he'll get his powers. I'll leave it linked in one of the corners or in the description as well. Go check that out because I go into more detail. But I think it'll involve something that happens right now, and that's actually involving the last scene of this episode, which is a doozy, I must say. I loved it. And essentially, Zoom meets with Harrison Wells again, and we find out that Zoom has been sending these villains over to make Barry faster, to increase his power, and he's, like, obviously being able to harness the Speed Force a bit more. And I'm assuming the breaking of Barry's back was to do with this as well, like exactly the same. So Zoom essentially is the Black Flash now. Like, I don't think they're going to label him as the Black Flash, but he's basically taken on like attributes of him, and he'll most likely have another alter ego that we know of, because Harrison Wells has mentioned that he was human. That I don't think Harrison Wells knows what his actual identity was before he became Zoom, but I think he's basically taken attributes of the Black Flash into himself as well. So overall, I thought this episode was really awesome. I thought it was an awesome episode. I thought it was a perfect mid-season finale as well. It sets up basically a lot of stuff for next season, but also leaves on a bit of a cliffhanger as well. I loved Mark Hamill's Trickster. It's always good to, this is only the second time we've seen him, but hopefully get to see him maybe once more this season. Hopefully, I don't know. I like seeing him on screen, and it'll be interesting to see how the latter half of this season unfolds as well. Especially with what happened, like when Barry went back in time. Maybe there's going to be a repercussion of that. We'll have to wait and see. But if you enjoy this review, leave a like, leave any comments on what you thought on the episode below in the comment section, and subscribe if you're new. I'll be sure to do like some bonus Flash videos over the time that the show is out. I think it's only gone for like maybe 4 weeks or something, I'm not too sure, but I'll be sure to do videos on the regular about upcoming events in the Flash season 2. But I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.